Он мог написать, я Виктор Бир написал.
А чпачмак.
Bueno, diría Thunder porque mi 4...
Слабые места.
Ты чпачмак фаворита этого турнира, поэтому...
Как будто самая сильная команда на турнире в общем.
После нас. Настя.
Tipo cheers. ¿Qué?
Yo voy a celebrar durmiendo porque estar cansado después del juego de...
Supongo que el manager pondrá comida.
Поеду тусить.
Ну, караоке, блин. Чё?
Что ты написал?
Поеду на 13-й этаж.
It's really good to see some familiar faces there because those teams participated in earlier tournaments of Dota 2 in Kazan. But I have to say that's not only Dota we'll be covering, of course, it's also Warface, tanks, and many other purely digital disciplines, I have to stress that, which are part of the Games of the Future in Kazan. Of course, throughout the next 2 weeks, we'll be talking about all that in depth. What's your impression so far of Dota? Did you grasp the whole concept?
I'm getting better. No,
Listen, by the end of it, you'll be a champion.
I'm not at an impressive level, if that's what you're suggesting. But now I know what the base looks like, and I know what it looks like when it's destroyed, and I know that it takes a long time to play.
Right.
But I'm getting there.
The important thing is that we are closing in on the opening ceremony, the official opening ceremony of the Phygital Games of the Games of the Future in Kazan, and we have our very own correspondent Daniel Hawkins right now standing by to watch this opening ceremony. Danny, how is the atmosphere there? Is everything ready for the big one? Because I'm sure it's going to be a very colorful ceremony.
Yeah, it sure is going to be a colourful ceremony, and I have to tell you that Kazan, commonly known as Russia's third capital, is no stranger to hosting big events, football championships, World Cup events, swimming youth championships, the World Skills a couple of years back. This city really knows how to put on a party, but the scale and the planning that's got into the Phygital Games has really astonished many people. We've spoken to various foreign visitors and competitors who've come here, and they've said they simply didn't expect anything of this scale, a testament to just how many venues across the city will be hosting events, how many volunteers there are here, just the sheer scale of this. And of course, an event of this scale will require an opening ceremony of a big scale as well. We can't go into too much detail of what exactly we are to expect because, well, that will be spoiling the surprise. But I can tell you that viewers will be taken on a journey. We can certainly expect some performances in terms of music performances, sports performances. We'll be meeting, of course, some of the symbols and mascots and ambassadors of the Phygital Games from all the key events, all the key categories that are taking part. We'll get to see the main symbol, the main mascot of the event as well. There's so many VIP guests here as well. We've got heads of state, we've got ministers, deputy ministers, envoys, and of course we're going to have one to give a speech as well. I'm sure you can guess who that is, but certainly whatever we will see over the next 2 hours will take viewers on a fantastic journey across not only physical borders but across digital borders, merging the physical with the digital to take them through a gateway into the future. So it's certainly a spectacle that we can expect over the next 2 hours.
Yeah, and Dan, just explain where you are exactly, because it's the Kazan Expo, isn't it, Centre, which is a huge venue, and it's not just hosting the opening ceremony. Just describe what it's like there. I mean, how many journalists are there? How many people have turned up to cover this? And particularly for tonight, how many people will be in that venue watching?
Yeah, it's certainly a fantastic international exhibition, and as I say, it's hosted so many key events over the years, the Kazan Expo. It's got conference halls, I should say, sports arenas. It's got everything in this building. It looks rather empty behind me now, but that's because everybody's got into the building behind me to watch the opening ceremony. We're not allowed in because there's no cameras. Again, that would be giving the game away and spoiling the surprise, but it was packed here just minutes ago before we went live. Without a doubt, we've seen, as I said, all these VIP guests from Russia and beyond Russia's borders as well. They've been ushered inside, and people are ready to see a fantastic spectacle. There's going to be celebrities of Russian sport, the Russian music scene, former footballers, which you and Alexei in the studio are sure to recognize, famous bloggers here in Russia and beyond as well. So this is an event that really has received a lot of planning, a lot of promotion, and to many in Russia and beyond is sure to inspire, impress and astonish.
Dan, thank you so much. We'll be definitely getting in touch with you more and more often. Enjoy the opening ceremony. I'm sure it's going to be a spectacular one. And see you soon, my friend.
Thanks, Dan. I like what he said about, all the VIP personalities turning up. Unfortunately, it's not open to the public, is it, this one? And it's often the case with ceremonies. But we will have the second best seat for you to enjoy that spectacle. It's going to be 2 hours long. And and I know you have been to other Olympics covering events as well, the opening ceremony is always key, isn't it? And it's always about projecting a certain message about the Games, trying to encapsulate what the particular games are about. And if you look what these games are about, it is all about technology, isn't it? So I think we're going to get something spectacular, and that's probably why they're trying to keep it under wraps.
I'm pretty sure of it, for the very simple reason I've been to, let's say, lower-scale phygital events in Kazan, in that particular arena. First of all, it's a huge one. I mean, it's... Sometimes it takes you 10, 15 minutes to walk from one building to another just because of just how much space and territory there is at Kazan Expo. Secondly, what I've witnessed there is the high-fidelity sound, the absolutely incredible video equipment, the graphics equipment, the laser equipment. So if they are keeping a very close secret as to what's actually going to be happening during these games, during the opening ceremony of the games, I'm sure it's going to be an absolute blast, considering what I saw there. So I'm a bit, jealous in a good way of Dan and
Well,
Tim.
we haven't got a bad
seat.
seat. We haven't got a bad seat, have we really, here, with the studio and all the cameras that will be streaming that live, and will be across it, of course. Now, in the meantime, something that isn't top secret is a new Phygital Centre that's opened up in Kazan. It's there to promote phygital sports. I hope we've given you an education today about exactly what it is, but Tim Kirby has been there.
Here we are, friends, at the Phygital Center, which opened just on the 20th of February, 2024, as in very recently. As you can see behind me, a lot of people are practicing their good old first-person shooters with the classic mouse and keyboard, just like I have at home. This is something probably familiar to you. Now, what's a little bit less familiar to me, we're going to show you right now as we move over to the world of soccer, also known as football. So here we have a setup of more PlayStations than I've ever seen in one position as the men here are training up to play some soccer online, but they're playing, if you notice, they're playing 5-on-5, just like they will be physically. And if we go over here to the VR sector, we can see the other, more physical side of the digital world. And this is a lovely setup because very few people have this much space at home, especially and unfortunately me. But anyways, guys, we're going to go from the digital realm of Phygital to the physical realm of Phygital right now at the Phygital Center. All right, and so as we pass the locker room, which we won't be showing you, that's private, we can go out here to basically the sports area that represents all the sports that are, all the physical sports that are going to be happening. We've got some street basketball, your mini football, a whole workout zone here. So basically you can go from digital to physical just by walking out the back door. And that's pretty awesome.
Well, Tim, I mean, it's a great story, but it's actually the other way around. It's football, also known as soccer.
What would Ronaldinho call it?
Football, for sure.
I hope.
Sure.
Fingers crossed, even though he's got our 10 teams everywhere, it seems, at the moment. Now, our tour of Kazan continues because after Tim showed us that Phygital Centre, we can show you some more pictures of the venues that are hosting all these events in Kazan at the moment. And I think we can start with the IT Park, if you've got pictures of that.
It is one of the venues for the Games of the Future.
Battle Tanks is going to be based there, speed run, sports programming also, so it's all the digital art. So we can go to the IT park now and have a look, and this will be my first experience too, if we can see these pictures.
Well, trust me, the screens that I saw in this one are absolutely, yeah.
And you've been to the IT park, so just describe what it's like. I mean, it looks vast from the opening pictures.
Again, I was astonished most of all, and then you can see this screen on the wall. The resolution is just incredible. I was thinking I should bring my own PlayStation, connect to that screen, and do some FIFA or NHL or NBA games, because the quality of technology there is just nothing short of incredible. And I'm sure the athletes, the cyber athletes coming from all over the world to participate in any kind of events and sports activities, in particular these centers, they will be, look at that one, look at that one.
This is amazing.
The clarity of the video, the picture is just, I don't know, maybe I'm sounding a little old, coming from the era when, we played Nintendo games, 8-bit graphics, and in a way it's returning now, because I know a lot of kids like these games on cell phones, which have no graphics whatsoever.
Yeah.
But to me, coming from the generation when I saw the evolution of computer graphics, what I saw in the IT park in Kazan is absolutely astonishing.
And it's taken the breath away too, the officials there, including Dmitry Tymoshenko, who's the Deputy Prime Minister and very much a leader in promoting phygital sports in Russia and now globally too. OK, so that was our tour of the IT park. Very good it was too. And next up is the Uram Park, where BMX and indoor cycling is taking place. Have you been to this one, Alex?
No, unfortunately not, because the competitions which were taking place there in the course of the phygital build-up, I would say, they took place a little earlier than my first arrival to this particular tournament. But I know that some of the people who worked with me at the Dota 2 tournament, they also covered the skateboarding and the BMX parts of the phygital games, and they were also quite astonished with that venue. But I'm pretty sure, again, Kazan is very well experienced in all matters concerning major international events with sports. Listen, if you remember the FIFA World Cup in Russia, I would say probably the best game in the whole of the World Cup was played in Kazan. It's France against Argentina. And everyone was astonished at just how well it was all organized. It was all in the streets and in the stadiums. Everything was so great.
But you can see the range of sports there. I mean, this is the BMX venue too. Dmitry Tymoshenko again there, as we mentioned earlier, having a tour of Kazan.
And that is the sports minister of Russia, by the way, Mr. Matitsin, on the left, yeah.
So, I mean, it is vast, isn't it? When you see these pictures, you understand the scale. I mean, this is not a small event when you say phygital. You're not just talking about somebody, a couple of people on a computer and then they nip outside to the field and have a game of whatever. This is major stuff, really, and at a very high level in terms of the teams that are coming. All professional athletes. In terms of the facilities, I don't think you can get much better than that. And I also saw there, I don't know if you noticed before they got to the BMX park, there was like a spinning. Did you see spinning? And this is a new concept now, particularly for training cyclists, because during the close season, they have to, a lot of them, depending on the budget, but a lot of them are training on stationary bikes like you saw there. It's boring. I've done it. It's really boring. So if you can add this virtual element to make it competitive, a huge screen, do virtual track cycling, put the events in there as well. It adds that competitive edge. And we're not just talking about, when we're talking about phygital sport, we're not just talking like a one-off event where people come to compete. It's about using the technology that's here now today to really help sport develop. And I think cycling is a really good example of what can be done. Unfortunately, it wasn't really covered today, and I looked at the prize money, and it is one of the smaller events, but I think it is a very good example of what you can achieve with the technology that is available. Anyway, that's my rant about cycling.
No, I got it. I think one of the key points, again, to emphasize here is that every major sporting tournament, whether that's Euro, a World Cup, or an ice hockey championship, or a basketball World Series, whatever, it involves, obviously, the construction of certain infrastructure, which is there to stay. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure in the case of Kazan, the Uram Park for physical activities and the IT park will be used for years and years to come.
And they're indoor.
So it's not like, you build it and then you rebuild it, you deconstruct it, and
but I mean, there will be people queuing up to use this.
Of course.
Now, we've got some news because the opening ceremony is getting ready to start. Not quite yet, looking at the pictures closely, but we had a little glimpse there. That's more than anybody else has had so far today, because it's all top secret. It will go on for 2 hours. It's all VIP only, so of course we have to stay here. But we've got a very good second best seat, I think, and we'll be keeping you up to date on what's happening. What are we expecting from this ceremony? I mean, there's a lot of guesswork. So we've got big names, big celebrities. We're thinking lots of technology, flashing lights, trapeze artists.
Listen, the thing is, I do know a few details about what will be happening there, but obviously I cannot reveal them, not to spoil the surprise. It will involve a lot of technology, a lot of lighting, because that's what the games of the future are all about. I mean, if you've seen the phygital basketball games, you've seen how different the really court is with, you know, the motion tracking and all these kind of things. So we'll see a lot of that at the opening ceremony. But then again, you know, I'm thinking about opening ceremonies in general. It's one of the hardest things to direct. It's one of the hardest events to send a certain message, whether it's continuity of history, choreography.
Goes on for months. I remember being at the London 2012 games, and I was there a lot earlier, and you saw the people who were taking part, getting back on the tube, all in their clobber that they were going to wear in the games in 3 or 4 months' time. And I was thinking, who are these guys? But it turns out, you know, it's all part of the preparation. And you're absolutely right. The amount of time and effort, and again, scrutinising by detail, the timing of all these events, the time that everybody has to leave the stage, another person goes back on, is immense. So fair play. It's going to be a big spectacle, and when you're watching it, you shouldn't be underestimating how much effort goes into producing something like this.
But then again, even from the ideological standpoint, the last biggie that I was at was the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics in 2022. And, you know, the idea was to tell the history of China over centuries, and it's one of the oldest states and countries around, which the director of that particular opening ceremony did excellently well, and it was thoroughly enjoyable and understandable. Here we have something absolutely new, so you have to send a very new message, because this is the first time the world sees the international games of the future.
Well,
I do wonder what that message will be.
It's being held in a city that's 1,000 years old or just over. I mean, it's quite a contrast, isn't it? That you've got this sort of cutting-edge technology in a city that's developed over the last 1,000 years. I mean, it tells a story in itself.
That's true. But I really do wonder what kind of message they will be sending, because, you know, as they say, you have to know your past in order to know the future. Whether a lot of past will actually be involved in that opening ceremony, because it's all going to be super digital and super pretty. I'm pretty sure of that. If you've seen the promos and all the videos coming from Kazan about the phygital games, it basically combines not only just the sports, the physical and the digital aspects of it, but in many ways the past and the future.
Well, and certainly the future, because if you look at the average age of people that are in the promo videos, there's not many people that look like me.
And me. That's true.
So that's obviously the direction of these games, and the production's been excellent so far, so I should imagine that what we're about to see over the next 2 hours will be no less impressive. We are still waiting. It was going to start, we thought, at about 7 o'clock, so we're running over time a bit, 20 minutes, but we do expect this to start pretty soon. We've got heads of state there. President Putin is due to speak. We understand possibly the presidents of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan will also be there, among others. Is there anyone in particular that you're looking forward to seeing? I mean, you were rattling off some names earlier. Some people have been messaging you about what's going on in Kazan. Have you got any inside info?
No, and that's as what comes for the people. I don't really know who will be participating in, you know, in the opening ceremony, but I'm pretty sure there will be dancers and singers, because Kazan and Tatarstan in general are very famous for their artistic part. I mean, if you look at the many thousands of years of history, or rather 1,000 years of history of this particular city, and you know, the local population, they do have a very rich cultural heritage. I'm sure this will be incorporated into the opening ceremony. I mean, let's be honest, if this was just about, you know, a bunch of teenagers or people in their 20s, it would all be digital. But considering we have so many VIPs and the heads of state, so they will have to incorporate the past and the future to make it work. And I'm pretty sure the cultural aspect will be very strong. But I have no idea who will be performing, which dancer is going to be dancing, which singer is going to be singing, because again, pretty much everything has been kept under wraps as a big secret. I'll tell you more, when the Sochi Olympics were opening 10 years ago, I knew a lot more about what we shall see.
It's interesting, isn't it? Certainly, when I was trying to read up on this, all I read was, this is, shrouded in secrecy, this is top secret, nothing's been said about it. And it has to be one of the closest secrets that have been kept in terms of opening ceremonies, because normally, as you say, something comes out, we have normally an expose in some tabloid telling you everything that's going to happen by the minute, but nothing like that has happened, or nothing like that has come out of Kazan. So we're still waiting with bated breath. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Although it gives us a little to talk about. So we do wish that this would start soon so we can all see if we're correct with our predictions. If we want to just talk about the games now and what's happened so far, so where are we at? So today is the official opening of the games, although some events have taken place over the last couple of days. So we've seen the Fidgetal hockey reach the last 4. So the semi-finals will start soon. Tomorrow. Yep. We've got the Fidgetal basketball. The group stages have started, and we've enjoyed that this afternoon. And also Dota, which is the major multiplayer battle arena game. Getting it right now. That's through to the knockout stages too. And then we have other games that have happened. I think what is it? The World of Tanks, Warface. First-person shooter game. So things are getting underway. So don't be confused if you see this as the opening ceremony and then think, hang on, these guys have been talking about events that have happened over the last couple of days, because this often happens at an Olympics or a major games. There's particularly football, for example, at the Olympics, that always starts a couple of days before the main opening ceremony. So
I'm pretty sure football starts this week as well, since I spoke to my Cameroonian friends, and
it does, yeah, in a couple of days' time, I think. This is one I am particularly looking forward to. Out of what you've seen, is there anything that's impressed you the most that perhaps you weren't expecting? Because you have covered the qualifiers for these games of the future, so nothing is brand new to you. Like for me, I'm looking at it going, that's a pretty impressive graphic. But for you, is there anything that stood out? Is there anything different happening now compared to the qualifiers?
Well, I got to tell you, since ice hockey has become part of my life now, very much often because I work at an ice hockey club in Russia, I'm really enjoying the ice hockey tournament. I think it's unpredictable. I think it's very dynamic. What Tim talked about us earlier, how different it is from the actual world of ice hockey. And why not listen to an interview with an ice hockey player again? Because I think he had a few very good points in there. Can we roll on that, please?
Okay,
all right, you got me. So, okay, friends, let's take a look at the games from the inside with our new friend. Could you tell us what's your name?
Hi, my name is Marek. Nice to meet you.
And Marek, where are you from?
I'm from Czech Republic.
Really? So you came all the way out here from the Czech Republic? That must have been one heck of a set of flights.
Yeah, it took like 12 hours, so it was a long trip.
So how did you get into this whole Fidgetal sports thing, the hockey with the video games? How'd you, come into this world here?
Yeah, we got an invitation from our friends, so we never heard about something like this. So we just want to come and play hockey, So, and the system with the Fidgetal, it's something unique for us.
I noticed that your team is called Inter, and I could see sort of by the top of your chest, you guys have different flags. So how did this team come about? Who created it?
Yeah, it's we want to do it international. So we had guys from whole country, from the world, and yeah, we just want to come and play hockey.
So were you either a pro or an amateur hockey player back home, or where did what's your hockey background?
I'm a pro hockey player. I play 8 years in our country, so I'm traveling and playing hockey around the world. So this is something what we have from the boys from team together.
Yeah, well, then it kind of begs the question, I play American football, and I could do a lot with American football. Now, play the video games, that I can't do. So, did you have to, study up specially to play the games, or how does that work?
Yeah, we find out that we're gonna have to beat them, in Fidgetal, so everybody had to buy a PlayStation and play NHL every game, to be better, but, as I say, the level of the guys here are very good. They are good Fidgetal players and also hockey players. So we need to like practice more, like to be better next year.
Well, see, there's some minor nuances, but anyways, thank you very much for giving us your time, and back to you in the studio.
Okay, we're listening to an interview there with Marek Maliński. He plays for Inter. Unfortunately, they did lose 4-13 to Cosmos earlier today, highlighting the point that he made. They need to get better at the digital, which is something we've been saying, you know, all day, haven't we?
Yeah, right. That's what the future is. I mean, we were discussing earlier today with a couple of colleagues that, okay, this is the first time something like this is held. But think about it in, let's say, 10 years, when the whole generation grows up of athletes who understand that they have to be good in both the digital and the phygital. That's when it will be particularly interesting.
It will be. Gone will be the days that you see people who play consoles looking a bit out of shape and, you know, maybe
right.
a bit pale, whatever it is. These will be proper athletes that, you know, because they have to compete on the physical stage too. I think it will be a process of natural selection eventually, won't it? Because you will not win at phygital if you can't, you know.
In a way, yeah.
If you're not 2 meters tall.
One of the guys, I do believe that was from a Belarusian football team at the football tournament at Fidget a couple of months back. He actually told me an interesting thought that, you know, there are stereotypes that players of digital sports or cyber sports, they're like unmovable geeks. They just sit on there and just play. It's like this no longer will be an option, because if you want to be a phygital athlete, you'll have to both run and jump and train and work out, and you have to be very strong with your joypad in your hands. So these kind of stereotypes will sink in the past. That's what the idea is, I think, of the whole games. And you know, that's what we see on the screen, basically.
Can you remember the first video game that you played, Alexei?
Oh, easy. It was
I'll try and date you from this.
It was Tetris.
Tetris?
Oh, of course.
That's a good film, actually.
Come
Did you see
on.
the film and how that came about?
I want to see it, by
I recommend
the way,
watching that film. But it sort of originated in Russia, didn't it?
It did, yeah. A Russian inventor created whatever. An IT specialist of those days created Tetris, but it's one of those games which is not just about, you know, the video aspect of it, but rather improving your logic, your way of thinking. And I was a class champion in Tetris. And you know, there's a joke actually. If you are proficient in Tetris, you will never have a problem loading your dishwasher, because you will always stack the plates in the right order, just like you did in Tetris. So that's the whole thing. But on a serious level, I think the first game I played to the point that I enjoyed it so much was Super Mario.
Super Mario?
Yeah.
I remember that.
8-bit, Nintendo. Yeah.
And also on the Commodore 64, I remember.
Oh my God, Commodore, oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm going to take you back further than that.
So that was your first game?
ZX81, remember that? You won't even remember a ZX81. I played a game called Monster Maze, right?
Right.
And ZX81, the memory was so small, I had to buy a 16K RAM pack and put it on. But that was so heavy that basically I then had to sellotape that to the computer to keep the whole thing going. And you just went around this pixelated maze, and at some point you'd bump into a monster and then you'd die. Well, that was my introduction to...
I hate to break it to you, but times have changed. You will not see anything like that now.
I think I've turned into that monster in the maze. This is what it feels like. OK, well, if you're wondering what on earth we're talking about, we're waiting for the start of the opening ceremony of the Games of the Future. That was due to start at 7 o'clock, so it's not just you, it's not your clock that is wrong, it is about half an hour late. But we are expecting big things this evening. It's going to be a 2-hour spectacle. VIPs are packing the Kazan Expo, which is the venue where it's being held. Do you remember how many people they could fit into the Expo Centre?
I won't give you the exact number, not to mislead you, but hundreds for sure. It's not thousands, I would say. At least if that's the hall I'm thinking of, because I'm not quite sure it's being held there, it's quite spacious. Because I do remember vividly the whole, the exhibition hall, the main area where the Dota tournament was taking place. And to my estimation, 400 or 500 people would definitely fit in there. But I'm not sure if that's the one. It might be a different one. Again, have you ever been to the Kazan Expo?
I haven't, no. No,
it's a huge territory. I do remember a few years back, me and a number of colleagues, we worked at the World Skills event there at Expo. And by the end of the day, we would go back to our hotel rooms and just lay flat because you would walk all day and it takes you, again, 10, 15 minutes to get from one point to another. And, you know, from purely geographical point of view, it's a very convenient space to hold such a major event in. I don't remember exactly which occasion led to the construction of Expo, but I think Kazan was in the running for the Expo. But overall, it is a really good place to have such an event.
Yeah, okay.
Any large-scale
Well, that's a good place to end because we can now go to the ceremony. So let's enjoy this spectacle. It's been under wraps for a long time, but now the secret is about to be outed.
Let's go.
Future is development.
The future is development. Будущее — это знание.
The future is knowledge.
Будущее — это гармония.
The future is harmony.
Гармония. Будущность — гармония. Будущее —
The future is opportunities.
未来充满着机遇。Будущее — это технологии.
The future is technology.
El futuro es la tecnología. Будущее — это любовь.
The future is love.
Es amor.
Будущее — это прорыв.
The future is breakthrough.
Будущность — это новое. Будущее — это спорт.
The future is sport.
体育是我们的未来。未来就是我们。будущее — это мы。
The future is us.
Добро пожаловать в Казань.
Welcome to Kazan,
Уникальные соревнования.
to unique competition at the intersection of physical and digital worlds, the games of the future.
Состязания игр
All competitions at the games of future require skill and knowledge. Sports are divided into challenges.
Это мы.
So here we are, the heroes of the challenges, the keepers of secret skills and valuable rewards. We be navigating you in the games of future, in the world of digital. Are you ready to learn more about each challenge? Then let's go.
Привет.
Hi, my nickname is Strata. I will teach you to think several steps ahead. With my help, you will dive into the world of mobile games and level up your skills for epic battles in the Battle Tank Simulator. My ultimate goal: destroy the throne, or fight in the real battles of endurance and ingenuity. Here is the invite to my challenge. See you at the Super Final. Hi there, those who love the spirit of competition and taste of victory. I'm Iwan, and I will take you into the world of sports challenge. Here are 8 digital disciplines. Classic sports and digital alternatives cannot exist there without training, so do it once and do it twice. And now you're building up strength and power. Combined scoring at the digital and physical stages will help us find the strongest in sports of the future. Come and join us. It will be exciting and galvanizing.
Приготовьтесь к ледовым и виртуальным.
Get ready for the real and virtual battles in the digital ice hockey. you can become the best in the digital basketball.
Легко выходите на болевой, а потом
You can easily go for a joint lock and then another one in a game in a digital fighting.
укротите свой байк в Digital.
Team your bike and digital BMX and digital cycling.
Удивляйте всех новыми трюками.
Surprise everyone with the new tricks in digital skateboarding.
Будьте первыми на финише.
Be the first at the finish line in the digital racing. Hold on tight and put the pedal to the metal. Let your rivals burn the digital rubber trying to catch up with you. Speed is your best partner. Real racetracks and virtual sports arenas are longing for their champions.
Привет, я Турбо.
Hi, I'm Turbo, and my challenge is speedrun.
Если вы,
If you, like me, started gaming on retro consoles, then we'll be friends.
сразимся,
So let's see who is faster.
за мной не угнаться.
No one can catch me.
Говорите с моим цифровым.
Even now, as you are talking to my digital avatar, a split second, and now, right behind you.
Киберарена, где
See you the cyber arenas where we'll compete in speedrunning classic games. Hi, I'm Cash A, and I'll tell you about the tactical challenge. The disciplines of my challenge require speed. But what is more important is the ability to work in a team and choose right tactics. So get ready for some serious challenges. Now, to win, you must be good not only with a computer mouse, but also with a laser gun. It is time to get out of your chairs and show who is the boss here.
Фистех, привет.
Fistek, hi there. I'm Electra, and this is my challenge. Drones that pass aerial obstacle courses and robots from different countries will gather at the stadium in a fight for your lives. But behind every technology, there are people, programmers, engineers, VR developers. Only together, they will bring harmony to our world, and at the games of the future, they will compete for the trophy. Cyberphysics will show an incredible fusion of human and technology. In the virtual reality games, you'll become a winner in another dimension. Rhythm Simulator will unlock new dance heroes. Come on, try to outdance me and show me what you got there. The battle of robots will show the full scale and magnitude of the rise of the machines. Okay, Legend 17 and Red Horn are here in the Games of the Future of 2024. And who will become the stronger in this battle? Red Horn is studying the attack and trying to get over its opponent. Red Horn is going to push down his opponent, but the other one is trying to hit it on the side. But again, there is no damage. They are just hitting each other very hard. And The Red Horn is get back on track, and Legend 17 is losing part of its armor, but let's see how it will affect their fight. I think the Red Horn is dominating the fight, but, well, there is still a chance. The Legend 17, you have to do something, but it's very hard when you're in a corner to suppress your opponent, but he's got some power to change the situation. Legend 17 is not letting his opponent come close. And he's got the same number as the great ice hockey player, Arlamov. He's trying to get over and to put some effort trying to hit him hard. But it's hard to prevail in this fight. The real gladiators keep on fighting, and it's still not clear who will become the winner in this fight. Legend 17 is trying to flip over his opponent, but he's got no chance. Red Horn is showing some strength and power. A lot of sparkles, a lot of spare parts that just falling off the machines, and we see the Red Horn has been flipped over, but still on his track, on the caterpillars, but still you see an incredible fight that you can see only here in the games of the future.
Мы приглашаем вас.
So we invite to the world of the games of the future. Competitions in a completely new format, where traditional and digital sports bring people together from around the globe. The history of the digital games era begins tonight here in Kazan. And if you're ready, then let's go. Harmony is the most powerful energy of creation, capable of uniting peoples, universes, and maintaining the balance of the world. With the development of technology, people began to immerse more into the virtual worlds, forgetting about the physical one, dooming harmony to fade away. In order to restore balance, Harmony was reborn as the firebird Mira. Mira went through the universes in search of heroes who would bring back the lost energy. And Mira selected the 5 strongest representatives and gathered them at the Cube of Councils. As they acquired unique powers, they became the guardians of Harmony, whose task is to protect and maintain balance. The Council decided to hold a tournament, the winner of which will spread harmony throughout the world. And for this purpose, the cube transformed a particle of harmony into a flame, an ancient artifact for collecting energy. The Guardians chose a place for the tournament, the city with the strongest continuity of energy. It is here that millions of spectators and the strongest athletes will take part in the greatest games of all time to determine the worthy and restore the balance of the worlds. Let the future games, the games of the future, begin.
Дамы и господа, исполняется государственный гимн Российской Федерации. Просим всех встать.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Russian Federation.
Россия священная наша держава, Россия любимая наша страна.
Могучая воля, великая слава, твое достояние на все времена. Славься, Отечество, наше свободное, братских народов союз вековой, предками данная, мудрость народная. Славься, страна, мы гордимся тобой.
От южных морей до полярного края раскинулись наши леса и поля.
Одна ты на свете, одна ты такая, храни
Дамы и господа, президент Российской Федерации Владимир Путин.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin.
Уважаемые участники
Dear
турнира,
participants of the tournament,
уважаемые
honorable
зарубежные
foreign
гости и
guests
главы
and
делегаций,
heads of delegation,
дамы и господа,
ladies and
друзья,
gentlemen, friends,
рад
I'm
приветствовать в
happy to
России
welcome to
пионеров
Russia
фиджитал
the
спорта,
pioneers of digital sports,
абсолютно нового
a brand
инновационного
new
формата,
innovative
который
format,
определил
which
само
gave
название
the very name to
предстоящих
this
соревнований.
competition.
Это
Indeed,
действительно игры
these are the
будущего.
games of the future.
Сплетение традиций
They
и
are a
современности,
combination of traditions and
гармония
modern reality,
физического
a
совершенства
harmony of
и
physical
высокого
perfection
интеллекта,
and
единство
intelligence,
спорта и
sports
технологий,
and technology,
просвещения
education
и
and
науки.
science
Все
brought
это
together.
необходимо
This
человеку
is
для
all
всестороннего
humanity
развития
needs
и
to achieve
успеха
success
в
and
нашу
comprehensive
эпоху
development in
стремительных
today's
изменений.
fast-changing environment.
В том
In
многогранном,
the
многополярном,
multipolar,
свободном и
free and
конкурентном мире,
competitive world
который
which is
формируется
taking
на наших
shape
глазах.
right now.
Закономерно, что
It only
идея
seems natural that
объединить
the idea to bring together
классический и
traditional
киберспорт
and
была
cybersports
рождена
originated
в
in
России.
Russia.
Наша страна
Our
была и
country
остается
has
одной
always
из
been
ведущих
and
спортивных
remains
держав
among the
планеты,
world's leading
родиной
sports nations,
великих атлетов,
cradle of great
побед и
athletes,
рекордов.
victories and
Мы
records.
всегда
We have
выступали
always
за
welcomed
продвижение
the
спорта и его
promotion
высоких
of sports and
гуманистических
its noble
ценностей.
humanitarian
Игры
values.
будущего
The
наш
games of the
дар,
future are
мировой
our gift to
спортивной
the entire
семьи.
world sports family.
Но Россия — это еще
Russia
и земля
also gave
великих
birth
ученых,
to prominent scientists,
конструкторов, инженеров.
designers and
Их
engineers
достижения
whose advancements
раскрывали
have
человечеству
opened up
новые горизонты
new
познания.
learning
А
horizons to
сегодня
humankind.
наши
Today, our
исследовательские
research
команды,
teams
компании
and companies
достигают вершин
lead
в
the
цифровых
development
технологиях
of
и
digital
применении
technologies
искусственного
and the use
интеллекта.
of artificial
Сферах,
intelligence,
которые
the fields
находятся на
that are
переднем
at the
крае
forefront
прогресса.
of progress.
И, конечно, испокон
Furthermore,
веков
since time
Россия
immemorial,
славится своей
Russia has been known
щедростью
for its
и
generosity and
гостеприимством.
hospitality.
Всегда готова
We are
радушно
always
принять
ready to
друзей,
warmly welcome friends
устроить для
and
них
engage them
большой
in
краткий
exciting,
праздник,
spectacular
в том
events,
числе
including
и праздник
sports
спорта.
festivals.
Мы
We
гордимся
take pride in
высочайшим
the
уровнем
superior level
организации
of splendid,
самых ярких,
large-scale
масштабных международных
international
спортивных
sports
соревнований.
competitions we
И
host.
многие из
Many
них
of those
прошли
have
именно
taken place
здесь,
here
в Казани.
in Kazan.
Этот город, как и
This
весь
city, as well as
Татарстан,
Tatarstan
в
as a
полной
whole,
мере
fully
соответствует
reflects the
содержанию,
idea
духу
and
игр
spirit of the
будущего.
games of the future.
Самобытный,
Unique,
многонациональный,
multi-ethnic, and rich
богатый
in
культурами
different
разных народов,
cultures.
он свято
It
хранит
faithfully
наследие
preserves the
предков.
ancestors'
И при этом
heritage.
всегда
It
открыт
always stands
новому,
open
смело
to
берется за
everything
самые
new. It does not
сложные,
hesitate to take
новаторские
up
проекты
most
и
challenging, innovative
блестяще
projects
их
and implements them
выполняет.
brilliantly.
Спортивная сфера
Sports
Спортивная сфера – один из
Sports
примеров.
is just one
Созданные в Татарстане
Sports
мировым
sites
первенством
and arenas
спорткомплексы
built
и
in
арены,
Tatarstan
широко
to host
востребованы
world
людьми
championships
всех
are widely
возрастов,
used by
служат
people of all
массовому
ages.
спорту,
They
развитию
serve to
которого
promote sports
в
for
развитию
all,
которого в России
which
уделяется
Russia
огромное
views as one of its
внимание. Это
national
один из
priorities.
государственных наших
It
приоритетов.
is one
Уверен,
of our national
число
priorities.
наиболее
I'm confident
популярных
that
всенародных
digital
видов активного
sports
досуга
will become
российских
one of the
граждан
most popular
обязательно войдет и
nationwide
digital sport.
leisure activities.
Актуальный, зрелищный,
Cutting
динамичный,
edge, dazzling,
способен
and vibrant,
вдохновлять
it
интерес
sparks
к
interest
физической
in
культуре
active
и
and
здоровому
healthy
образу жизни у
lifestyles
людей
among
всех
all
поколений.
generations,
И, конечно, у детей
especially
и
children
молодежи.
and the youth.
В этом для нас особая
That is
ценность
why
игр
we
будущего.
particularly
Наравне,
value the
конечно
games
же,
of the
с
future.
утверждением главных,
It is equally important
основополагающих
that they
принципов
affirm the fundamental principles of
солидарности стран и
sports,
народов мира,
solidarity of countries
равноправия
and
всех
people of the world,
атлетов и
equality of
честной,
all
бескомпромиссной
athletes,
борьбы.
and fair
Игры
play.
будущего.
The games of the
Свобода
future
от
are
политической
non-politicized
любых
and free
видов
from any
дискриминации и
discrimination
двойных
and
стандартов.
double standards.
Уверен,
I'm
на
sure
площадках
that the
будет
games
царить
will
подлинный
celebrate
спорт.
true sports.
Виртуозное мастерство, упорство,
2,000 athletes
волю
from
к
over
победе
100
предстоит
countries will
проявить
demonstrate
2000
excellence, endurance,
спортсменов
and
из
determination
более
to
чем
win.
сотни стран мира. И нет
There is
сомнений,
no doubt
состязания
that
лучших
competitions
из лучших
among the best of the best
захватывающим
will become
событием
a
и
truly
покорят
breathtaking
сердца
event, win people's
откроют
hearts,
нам
as well
новые
as light new bright stars.
Международный турнир
The international
концепции
digital event
для современной
will
летописи
turn a
мирового
new
спорта
page in the modern
история
sports history.
уникальная. И эта история
And we are writing it
прямо здесь,
right now
сейчас,
and right here
в России.
in Russia.
В добрый час.
Good luck to you all.
И, дорогие друзья,
Friends,
с вашего разрешения,
if you permit,
хочу попросить
I would like to
моих коллег, наших друзей,
invite my
сказать два
colleagues,
слова
my
в
friends
связи с открытием
to
сегодняшних игр.
speak up on the occasion of the inauguration of this event.
Наперед у будущему, сябры.
Құрметті Ресейдің президенті Владимир Владимирович, ең алдымен сізге үлкен ризашылығымды білдіргім келеді. Бұл ойын бірегей ойын. Дүние жүзінде бұндай ойын жоқ. Сондықтан баршаңызға сәттілік тілеймін. Я благодарю, уважаемый Владимир Владимирович, за проведение этих игр.
Vladimir Putin, His Excellency, for hosting these unique events, the Games of the Future, which is unparalleled. And I wish every success to the participants. Let's host the next Games in Kazakhstan.
Урматтуу келечек ойындары турниринин катышуучулары, спорт дүйнөнүн элчиси, спорт бул ден соолуктун булагы деп жөн жеринен айтылган эмес. Ошондуктан баарыңыздарга биринчи кезекте ынтымак, экинчи кезекте ден соолук каалаймын. Спортто дайыма күчтүүлөр жеңет, күчтүүңөр жеңгиле. Баарыңыздарга ийгилик каалаймын. Пусть победят сильнейшие.
Let the strongest win.
Пешасамаман буди ташаббускор ва пешоҳанги ин чорабинии сатҳи ҷаҳонӣ президенти ҷумҳурии кишвари бузурги Россия, дӯсту бародари мо Путин Владимир Владимировичро ва ин чорабинӣ табрик мегӯям. Ба он кас саломатӣ ва умри дароз орзуманд ҳастам. Дигар ба тамоми варзишгарон, иштироккунандагони, намояндагони ҳамаи кишварҳои ҷаҳон, аз ҷумла Тоҷикистон муваффақият ва пирӯзӣ мехоҳам. Саломат бошед.
Aziz do'stlar, bugun mana shunday katta anjumanni hurmatli Rossiya prezidenti Putin Vladimir Vladimirovich tashabbusi bilan o'tkazayotgani haqiqatda bu dunyoda bu birinchi va men hamma uchrashuv birinchi mana shu kelajak o'yinlar uchrashuvlarini tabriklayman va Rossiya xalqini ham mana shu katta bayram bilan tabriklayman va bugun Vladimir Vladimirovich aytdi, mana shu Qozonda katta tadbirlar o'tayapti va Qozon xalqini, yoshlarini mana shunday bayram bilan ham alohida tabriklamoqchiman va bugun bu musobaqalarda O'zbekiston yoshlari ham qatnashyapti. Ularga ham men omad tilayman va omadlaring hammalaringga yor bo'lsin. Katta rahmat sizlarga. Ya еще раз
Again, with all my heart, and congratulate His Excellency Vladimir Putin on this initiative, because this initiative is the first time the world sports community holds such initiative. It is a new area, and I wish every success to this type of sports. Russia begins, and I hope my colleagues will support me step by step. We will hold the next games in Kazakhstan in 2026. We will be ready to host the games in Uzbekistan.
Дорогие друзья,
Friends,
большое спасибо. В добрый час.
Thank you. Good luck to you all.
Дамы и господа, встречайте страны-участницы игр будущего.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the participating countries of the Games of the Future.
Австралия,
Australia,
Австрия,
Austria,
Азербайджан,
Azerbaijan,
Алжир,
Algeria,
Ангола,
Angola,
Аргентина,
Argentina,
Армения,
Armenia,
Бахрейн,
Bahrain,
Беларусь,
Belarus,
Бельгия,
Belgium,
Бенин,
Benin,
Болгария,
Bulgaria,
Боливия,
Bolivia,
Босния и Герцеговина,
Bosnia and Herzegovina,
Ботсвана,
Botswana,
Бразилия,
Brazil,
Великобритания,
United Kingdom,
Венгрия,
Hungary,
Венесуэла,
Venezuela,
Вьетнам,
Vietnam,
Гаити,
Haiti,
Гайана,
Guyana,
Гана,
Ghana,
Гватемала,
Guatemala,
Германия,
Germany,
Гондурас.
Honduras.
Греция.
Greece.
Грузия.
Georgia.
Дания.
Denmark.
Египет.
Egypt.
Замбия.
Zambia.
Зимбабве.
Zimbabwe.
Индия.
India.
Индонезия.
Indonesia.
Иордания.
Jordan.
Ирак.
Iraq.
Иран.
Iran.
Испания.
Spain.
Италия.
Italy.
Йемен.
Yemen.
Казахстан.
Kazakhstan.
Камбоджа.
Cambodia.
Камерун.
Cameroon.
Канада.
Canada.
Кипр.
Cyprus.
Киргизия.
Kyrgyzstan.
Китай.
China.
Колумбия.
Colombia.
Республика Конго.
Republic of the Congo.
Республика Корея.
Republic of Korea.
Кот-д'Ивуар.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Куба.
Cuba.
Кувейт.
Kuwait.
Лаосская Народно-Демократическая Республика.
Lao People's Democratic Republic.
Латвия.
Latvia.
Ливан.
Lebanon.
Мавритания.
Mauritania.
Мадагаскар.
Madagascar.
Малайзия.
Malaysia.
Мали.
Mali.
Мексика.
Mexico.
Республика Молдова.
Republic of Moldova.
Монголия.
Mongolia.
Мьянма.
Myanmar.
Намибия.
Namibia.
Нигерия.
Nigeria.
Нидерланды.
Netherlands.
Новая Зеландия.
New Zealand.
Объединенные Арабские Эмираты.
United Arab Emirates.
Оман.
Oman.
Пакистан.
Pakistan.
Палестина.
Palestine.
Парагвай.
Paraguay.
Перу.
Peru.
Португалия.
Portugal.
Руанда.
Rwanda.
Румыния.
Romania.
Саудовская Аравия.
Saudi Arabia.
Северная Македония.
North Macedonia.
Сербия.
Serbia.
Сингапур.
Singapore.
Сирийская Арабская Республика.
Syrian Arab Republic.
Словакия.
Slovakia.
Словения.
Slovenia.
Соединенные Штаты Америки.
United States of America.
Таджикистан.
Tajikistan.
Таиланд.
Thailand.
Танзания. Танзания.
Tanzania.
Тунис.
Tunisia.
Туркменистан.
Turkmenistan.
Турция.
Turkey.
Уганда.
Uganda.
Узбекистан.
Uzbekistan.
Уругвай.
Uruguay.
Филиппины.
Philippines.
Финляндия.
Finland.
Франция.
France.
Хорватия.
Croatia.
Центральноафриканская республика.
Central African Republic.
Черногория.
Montenegro.
Чехия.
Czechia.
Чили.
Chile.
Эквадор.
Ecuador.
Эстония.
Estonia.
Эфиопия.
Ethiopia.
Южноафриканская республика.
South Africa.
Российская Федерация.
Russian Federation.
Россия.
Russia. Kazan.
Наши дни.
Present days.
Привет.
Hi.
Я уже думал, ты не придешь.
I thought you would come. Well, I saw you were in line and decided to join. Isn't there anything better than beating you again? Well, I missed you too.
Подготовиться к играм будущего.
I want to properly get ready for the games of the future. Will you help me? Sure. It's really cool, that digital stuff, and right into dimensions. Let's play then.
Какую карту берем?
Which map should we choose? Well, something from the future. Well, the future is big. Then, how about Russia in future? Wouldn't be interesting to look at our city in the future. Well, good choice. I would like to see it as well.
Привет, ребята.
Hi guys, we heard that you wanted to see Kazan in the future and we can help you. We'll take you on a rather unusual tour. Do you see that? Our in-game avatars are talking to me. Yeah, they look like real. That's some kind of a bug. Well, everything is much more real than you think. Just press enter and jump into our digital world. Go ahead. That is a great chance to see Kazan in the future, and the next chance you'll have it when you turn 100 years old. Okay, let's load up the game.
Молодец.
Well done. The future is for brave and confident. Let's go.
Добро пожаловать в будущее.
Welcome to the future. Is it really Kazan? That's Kazan. The Kazan Kremlin is over there, and the family center is there, the Millennium Bridge. Well, I like Kazan in the future. I've only seen it in the sci-fi films. We've turned so much into reality. Air taxis, space elevators, tunnels for cars, in transport, robot assistants. Okay, let's go for a walk and look around.
Какая реалистичная игра.
Well, this game is so realistic. I can't believe it. That's not a game. The city may be filled with interfaces that quickly connect you to the global network, but everything here is real. The cities have become more convenient, cleaner and smarter. And thanks to anti-gravity shoes, citizens have become more mobile and spend less time moving between different locations. Therefore, they have much more time for strolling around numerous parks and playing sports. I wish I could stay here for a while and see everything. But my dog is waiting for me at home, and no one will walk with it except me. Good job, you remember about that. But in the future, if you forget to walk your dog, it will remind you. Now, will it come up to me and say, "Hey, sweetheart, it's time to go for a walk"? Well, you'll see it. Irina Sergeyevna, my dear, no rush. We are not in a hurry. Keep your heart rate moderate. Well done. 145 years is no reason to slack off. Be more active. Just a bit more. Here is our personal fitness robot dog. And my dog can only ask for food, you know? And one more. Okay, have a break and go for the breathing exercises. We'll do some conventional exercise in 3 rounds. And I'll catch up with your husband before he goes too far with the workout. No Pilates while I'm gone. And don't listen to other dogs. I'll be right back. Our robot dog is not a dog you play with, it's a real assistant. Dogs that bring the food and some other stuff, police officers, firefighters, rescuers, doctors, even scientists. So do robots do all the work for people now? Of course not, but they help us a lot. And track our mood and physical fitness and organize leisure time using smart algorithms. And do you have only these type of robo-Raxes now? Are there real ones? Of course. Nothing can replace a real dog. But you cannot do without robots anymore. We got used so much to them. Just don't forget charging them from time to time, just like my dog. It won't even give you its paw until you feed it. Look, he likes you. How do you know? It gave off a lavender scent. Well, robot dogs are our real companions in everything, even in dances. So, how do you like our robot dogs? Talented, right? Sure, they're very talented, but it takes time to get used to it. Well, I see that you're zoning out a bit. No, just remember that I haven't finished my project in physics well, and I don't understand anything there, and it could be easily fixed in our digital library. Now, we learn throughout our entire life. We obtain up-to-date knowledge, competences, and skills. How can you learn throughout your life? It is so boring. Not at all. Learning is very easy. The Smart Assistant offers you the optimal learning format. And here in the data library, you can find absolutely any information. And now, instead of reading a book, you can talk to a holographic model of the author created by the artificial intelligence. And the model itself will talk about its works in great details and answer the questions. Can I talk to absolutely any famous person? Of course. What subjects are you struggling with? Exactly. With exact sciences. There is one brilliant woman who can help you. Sofia Kovalevskaya. She was the first female mathematician in Russia and the first female professor in the world. Loading now. Good evening, young gentlemen.
С какой темы начнем?
Well, what should we start
Теория
with?
движения твердого тела?
Rigid body
Теория
dynamics,
эллиптических функций по Weierstrass.
Weierstrass elliptic functions, or maybe Poincaré's method for determining curves by differential equations? Well, I just need to
Значит, тебе нужен
catch up on my
курс
maths.
элементарной алгебры.
Okay, then you need an elementary algebra course. Let's check your level first.
Расскажи-ка мне, друг,
Tell me, sweetheart, what types of equations are there? Well, for me, there are difficult and not difficult. Well, square, maybe.
неплохо, а еще
Well, okay, not bad. And what else?
только они
Direct
называются
equations.
линейными.
Wait,
Уровень твой
they are
вырос.
called linear. Now we know your level.
Чтобы мне сделать из
And
тебя математика,
to turn you into a
понадобится
mathematician,
часов 50.
to train you, I think it will take about 50 hours. Agree? I'm ready to study with you even for 1,000 hours. Maybe you have some piece of advice for me.
Совет один.
Only
Не
one.
бойся точных
Don't
наук.
be afraid of
Всё
exact
сложное
sciences.
состоит из
Everything
практических.
complex is made up
Всего
of
доброго.
simple parts. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
Надо было больше вопросов.
You should have asked more questions. I got confused. It's so unusual to chat with a great scientist, even if it is a hologram. Now I just need to clear my head, you know?
Это тебе
Okay,
философ.
then you will need a philosopher.
Конфуцием хочешь
Do you want to
поговорить?
talk to Confucius?
Смотри,
Here we go. What worries you, my child?
Думаю, как обработать...
Well, I'm just thinking about how to process all the information I got here. Well, sometimes we see a lot, but don't notice
Нам там
the main
столько
thing.
всего надо сделать в
We
прошлом.
have so much to do in the past. In the past, I don't even know where to start. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a one little step.
Не стой бояться.
Don't be afraid of change.
Чаще всего они
Most
случаются
often,
именно тогда.
they take place at that very moment when they are most needed. But how do I make this journey without mistakes?
Не тот велик, кто никогда не
Our
падает.
greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Goodbye.
ну как тебе?
Did you like
У
it?
нас такие фиджитал
If we had such digital libraries, I would live there
А чем
forever.
бы ты хотел заниматься в будущем?
So what would you like to do in the future? Well, I want to invent something useful, something necessary,
Это назвали.
so later it would be named after me.
Есть у меня хороший пример.
Well, I have a great role model for you that will inspire you for invention.
Изобретатель.
The scientist and inventor Nikola Tesla.
Привет.
Hello.
Про что тебе рассказать?
What should I tell you about? About alternating current, multi-phase systems, or the operation of the asynchronous electric motor? I wanted to know how to become a great inventor.
Самое главное,
The most important thing is that you should not work for the present, but you should aim at a future.
называть
They
фантазером.
might call you a dreamer or laugh at your ideas, but the only time will tell us who is right.
Лайфхак есть?
Is there some kind of a life hack?
Спать 2-3 часа в
Well,
день, как я.
you can sleep for 2 or 3 hours a day like me, or you won't have time to do much.
Господин Тесла,
I'm afraid it might be problematic.
переменного тока,
Professor,
наконец-то
as the
объясните,
inventor of
что это
alternating
такое?
current, could you finally explain me what it is?
Это очень просто.
Well, it's very simple.
Переменный ток
Alternating current is the ordered movement of charged particles.
Или, иначе говоря,
Or, to put it in other words, electric current that changes its direction and magnitude over time according to a certain law with a given frequency.
то, что
That is what ensures, for example, uninterrupted power supply to modern houses.
Есть еще постоянный ток.
There is also direct current,
Тебе лучше спросить у
but you'd better ask Thomas Edison about that. They say he understands it better.
Обязательно обращусь.
Thank you. I'll definitely ask him about that.
Вопросов больше нет, тогда
Well, if there are no questions, then I have to go. I have a lot of work to
Всего
do.
доброго, господин
All the
Тесла.
best, young man. Thank you very much, Professor.
Все. Достаточно.
Well, that's enough for me today.
Мой смартфон.
Just like my smartphone says, I'm fully charged. That's right, it's important to alternate study and rest. We are not robots. I'm sure your friend is also impressed.
Где она сейчас?
Where is she now?
Уж точно не
Well,
скучаешь.
she's definitely not bored. I think she must be visiting just a regular medical center now.
Еще надо брать.
Huh, do you still take the receipts and take the tickets at the reception? Well, my granny told me something similar, but it's absolutely different nowadays. Let's go and find her. In order to explain and make it clear, I'll explain using this object. Nowadays, all medical tests begin with scanning the patient. There is nothing new here. I know about the ultrasonic inspection and X-rays and other methods. Then you will learn a new one. Scanning using cyber-defined cell. Could you tell it in plain Russian? Well, a computer chip the size of a cell, it could be delivered to a desired organ with a probe, and then it sends all your medical information and data to the cloud. So you don't have to see a doctor if something aches or if it hurts. Yes, it will be rendered as a hologram. Are they right in his head now? Don't worry, they're just scanning. All indicators are okay, but the number of neural connections is not very large. And underachiever, apparently. Can you define which hemisphere is more developed? Sure. Our robot scanners can even identify a person's capabilities, making it clear to choose the profession. And what are these numbers? Some kind of a matrix. Well, this information that runs through our nerve cells. And what kind of information is that? I hope it is something useful. Sure, the nervous system of the patient is absolutely okay. That's it. The medical checkup is over. Thank you so much, robot doctors. And if you are too lazy to go to the hospital, technological clothing can control a person's condition. It affects his emotional state and keep up the electronic health log. That's awesome. Everything is developing so quickly in Russia. Aren't you tired yet? Are you ready for some shocking content? You bet. You can't get tired of it. Show me everything. Okay, let's go to the skyscraper's roof. I'll treat you to some fresh vegetables. Vegetables on the roof? Are you kidding me? No, I'll tell you everything. In the past, people didn't pay enough attention to preserving the Earth's natural resources. The population was rising up, there were less and less fresh water. And as a result, many plants, species disappeared and land turned into desert, unsuitable for agriculture. And we had to solve this as fast as possible. Russian scientists invented new technologies that help solving water shortage problem quickly and without unnecessary difficulties, even in the most remote places of our country. Special irrigation systems monitor the soil and prevent land from turning into a desert. also started actively greening our cities and learned how to grow vegetables, herbs, and other crops right in urban areas. Smart farms are now located on the roofs of skyscrapers, tended after by autonomous robots and controlled by the artificial intelligence. Restoring the environment, reviving it, is impossible without searching for new useful technologies for industrial production. Let's go and see new sources of energy. The world ocean occupies over 70% of our planet's surface. And at some point, we decided that we are not using them enough. After all, underwater technology opens up new opportunities for humanity, and underwater power source is 100% renewable. With the help of special generators, we'll learn how to obtain green hydrogen from water in unlimited volumes, which allowed us to make a breakthrough in hydrogen energy and reduce carbon emissions to zero. These underwater sites are Russian data centers, and we are very proud of them. There is plenty of electricity underwater. Seawater is used for cooling, and they can be built everywhere from the Arctic to the Antarctic region. That's incredible. There is so much here. I wonder if I could work underwater. And not only work, but also live. Take it easy. There is fish swimming outside. Well, do we have family in the future? Oh, don't tell me you have never dreamt about it. Okay, don't be embarrassed. I'll show you the transport of the future. Finally, I've been waiting here for you. I was even about to go and look for you. Want to take this hyperspeed ride? That cool, great. Hop into your chair. Okay, and what about the speed? About 200 kilometers per hour? No, per minute, of course. But you won't even notice it. We'll make a few stops only.
Я готов.
I'm ready.
Поехали.
Let's go. So how do you feel it? I'm like in a wind tunnel. All capsules are moving along a single transport system that connects cities with each other via high-speed line. You don't have even time to read a book while going by this hyper train. So if trains reach such speed, then what about the planes? How fast do they fly? Very fast. But we don't use planes anymore, but space shuttles, which take you through the stratosphere to anywhere in the world in an hour. Space shuttles? Is it really that easy to fly into the outer space in the future? Easy. Well, to the outer space, into the deep space, we fly by cruise rockets, interplanetary buses. Well, you can try it yourself. Let's go. Well, in a space, we'll say, let's fly. Do you copy that? I think we are too far from the Earth. We should go back, I think. Don't worry, we won't fly too far. You'd better look at our planet. You definitely haven't seen it from that perspective. What a beauty. I understand now why everyone dreamed of becoming a cosmonaut. And what's it around it? Well, there are loads of things. Satellites, orbital stations, space hotels, very powerful computing centers, and even solar panels. Wait a second. Why would you need solar panels in space? Well, they orbit around and accumulate solar energy, which we can supply to the Earth and some other celestial bodies. For example, to the moon. Did we colonize the moon? Well, the moon is not really suitable for life. The temperature difference is too big. There is no atmosphere. So we use it for research and as a transfer station for flights to nearby planets. But you should visit at least once. Well, I don't even have time to visit my friends in a neighboring city, and you're talking about a trip to the moon. How long will it take to fly there? Well, thanks to optimized nuclear propulsion thrusters, interplanetary flights don't take much time. Well, this is roughly what Russian ships use to transport passengers to both the moon and to Mars. Mars? And who lives there? Ordinary people, just like you and me, who started moving there as soon as they found a way to protect against cosmic radiation and restored the atmosphere that was there on Mars billions of years ago. So you mean the temperature became comfortable? And the water appeared there? Exactly. Now, it is a planet where there is a real life.
все нас ждет в обозримом
Wow,
будущем.
and all this awaits us in the foreseeable future? I still can't believe it. It's like I'm in a futuristic video game or in virtual reality. Why not make virtual reality a reality? And I'll tell you a secret. Over time, the boundaries between the real and digital dimensions will blur, and it all started in Russia, where games across sports, science, and technology once took place. They were called the games of the future.
Путешествие.
That journey was great. So many amazing things await us there. That's so cool. Everything we have dreamed about has been turned into reality, into life, into the future, in our future, and we should be looking for it. It is here. It is right now. And to make it bright, brilliant, and interesting, we should be open for everything new, not being afraid of making mistakes, but constantly improving physically and technologically. The strong friendship between the virtual and real world can fill us with the energy of creation, make the human more universal and full of vigor and energy. And let the beginning of that friendship is the beginning of very strong union of two dimensions be laid here in the very first games of the future. Let's go. Everything is in our hands.
Игры будущего начинаются.
The games of the future begins tonight.
В новом мире живем. Нет невозможного в нем. Наша сила на стыке времен создавать. Пусть летят вверх мечты люди будущего. есть крылья, будем летать. Мы не боимся упасть на удачу. С тобой талисман, он горит светом новой звезды. Люди будущего — это мы в лицах и именах. Все только в наших руках. И сквозь сердце гармонии свет, чувства и интеллект, как волна игры будущего навсегда.
Уважаемые гости, церемония открытия первых игр будущего в Казани 2024 окончена.
You're watching our coverage of the Games of the Future, and we've just been watching the opening ceremony in Kazan, and what a spectacle it was. An hour and a half's worth of great technology, amazing special effects, and a glimpse into the future. Alexei was watching it along with me. Where do we start? Okay, we could quickly run through a VIP list, which did include a lot of famous people, 5 heads of state, the Russian President Vladimir Putin speaking to, and then it went through all the events that are due to take place over the next 11 days or so in Kazan. Really good special effects, I thought. I mean, I'm struggling to describe them, and it's very hard to unless you've watched them yourselves, but, you know, the technology that's now available and is now being used at these games is revolutionary.
Indeed. I did tell you that there will be a lot of visual effects. I mean, that was quite clear to see from the onset, because that's the Games of the Future. It involves a lot of technology, but I have to say, I did expect a lot of beautiful things. I didn't expect it to be as beautiful. I'll be honest, I'm an avid fan of anything high-tech. I mean, not to the point that I want to replace living actual dogs with cyber dogs, but when it comes to visual aspect of it. Speaking of dogs, look at that there on the screen. There we are. I mean, that wasn't the planned thing. I just gave it as a random example. But yeah, we did have them as well, all the cyber animals. This actually looked a little bit like the Dune movie.
It did, and this is when they're talking about resources and how the world should look for other means of energy, and they actually sort of delved into the world of the oceans and the underwater world and sort of claimed that that's where future energy sources lay. So, I mean, it was fascinating. They did take a glimpse into a future city. So they had 2 characters who went into what Kazan would look like in the future, and that's where you saw the robot dogs, who incidentally wouldn't need taking out at 3 a.m. in the morning, if you know what I mean. And they'd also had a robot health scanner, so you wouldn't have to go to the doctor. And then they had an interplanetary bus where you could go to Mars. So I don't know how much this is based on fantasy or how far off all of this is, but it was very interesting to watch. And as we say, the special effects were quite extraordinary.
I absolutely agree with you. The visual aspect of it, the clarity of everything, the choreography. I did tell you before the opening ceremony that directing it is probably the hardest job in the whole of artistic sphere. But imagine directing this.
And the
when
timing.
not only people are involved, not only the actual movements and choreography, but also a lot of digital things.
I agree. And do you know that it's a narrow stage? So if you think about the number of people that are queuing up to come on and it's their turn, and the organisation to get everybody in the right order at the right time, I thought it was terrific. It was an hour and a half. We thought it might be 2 hours, but an hour and a half. It was still good enough for us. We really enjoyed it. And we've got a reporter waiting for us, I think, Dan. We'll get the cue to Dan in a moment. But he was watching it as well. It was happening at the Kazan Expo Centre. Let's see if we can cross to Dan now, can we? There he is. I hope he can hear us. Dan, how was it? We were just discussing amazing special effects and quite a good glimpse into how the future may look.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a trip down memory lane that was with all the games, Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat, Need for Speed. It really had it all, didn't it, for the adult child, the adult gamer. Fantastic. At one point, the operator I was working with said, is that guy real or is that a digital hologram? Is that a digital impersonation? Which goes to show just how amazing and convincing that was, to show that symbiosis, showing that morphing of the real into the digital, right? It really had a lot of people here believing that. Obviously, we met our guides for those games who are going to be with us for the next 11 or 12 days. Paralympics there, another theme, of course, that key theme of the visual games, the merging of humanity and technology. We saw that athlete there running with the metal leg. Robot Wars, that's going to be familiar to a lot of tech fans in the UK, isn't it? My American colleague wasn't sure quite what that was, but certainly that seems to have got a new breath of life in these visual games as well. And obviously the Firebird symbol as well, also closely linked, of course, to the symbol of Kazan, that mystical dragon, a symbol of power, a symbol of something supernatural, a symbol of the future. Really also something that these games are looking to put across. And as the President Vladimir Putin said, they're really looking to encourage people to develop in a multifaceted way, both in terms of technology and AI and the roboticization, and of course in terms of sport, especially with a focus on the younger generations. Encourage a healthy and active lifestyle, encourage that love and a keenness for sport as well. So very much a journey that we were taken on, and the people that we've briefly spoken to coming out of the arena right now are very impressed, certainly breathtaking by the scale and the creativity of that performance, and it certainly gives people a taste of what's to come as well. I think everybody who was watching that performance who perhaps wasn't sure, should I be tuning in over the next week or two to see what's going on, from that preview will certainly be encouraged to turn on their live streams and keep a close eye on what's coming next.
Dan, what was your personal favorite episode in this opening ceremony? I'm pretty sure you must have one at least.
You know, for me, it was those memories of of my childhood, those early childhood games. You know, those when you always were faced with that choice, right? Of, do I go outside to play sport? Do I stay home to play video games? The parents were always trying to get you outside when you wanted to complete the next level on your game, and vice versa. I think this ceremony and that trip, as I say, down memory lane, really goes to show that nowadays, why not do both? That choice between physical or digital is no longer there when you can combine them so effectively and so convincingly. I think how that message was put across, to me, certainly was a big highlight. And what a shame it wasn't around when we were a bit younger, eh?
Well, actually, funnily enough, we were talking about our first experiences on computers a little earlier, and I felt quite old when we were doing that. But look, a lot to look forward to. I'm enjoying this very much. Thank you, Dan. That was Dan Hawkins, who was at the opening ceremony covering that for us. That just finished a few minutes ago. It went on for an hour and a half, but it was wonderful. If you get the chance to watch the highlights, please do go to our website, gamesofthefuture.com. We've got a lot on there. If you want score updates, it's on there too, and also we stream live events as well. Did you have a particular favourite in that ceremony? I didn't
Quite
ask.
obviously, Mario. We were speaking in the studio that Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, was the first game that I really enjoyed as a game, although it wasn't the first game I played. But then I saw, you know, the boys and girls running and smashing the coins from the brick ceiling or whatever you want to call it. That was a nostalgic moment. We just let Daniel go to have some rest and to enjoy some nostalgic moments, reminiscing the trip down memory lane. But earlier he actually managed to interview a couple of spectators, and I believe we can now have a look at that.
So we're here with Brian Arroyo, who's on the Mexican digital hockey team today. Brian, thanks for joining us today. You were in the opening ceremony itself. We couldn't get in, we were watching outside. What was the atmosphere like in there? What emotions were you going through when you saw that?
Actually, I feel very good to be part of this tournament. You know, the open ceremony was incredible. You know, it's the first time that I'm in that kind of event. You know, so I'm very happy to be here.
And your team had one of its first games today. How did your match go, and what could you have done better? What's your tactics for the next games?
Actually, we start Monday. We played Monday. We lost Monday. We won yesterday, and we lost today. We got the fifth place. For our team, of course, it's not the best place to be, but for the experience, you know, it's incredible. You know, it's the organization. You know, in the hotel. You know, on the buses. You know, here. You know, with the people. You know, everybody helps you. So. For experience, it's very good, and we're looking forward to for the next tournaments. You know.
So you're obviously not a newcomer to Russia. You mentioned that, but is it your first time in Kazan? And what do you make of the city here and of the digital games in general?
Yeah, that's it's my first time in Kazan, and I really love the city. You know, I really love the center. You know, and the people, the restaurants. You know, very nice food. Very, I like everything. You know, I like everything from here. So hopefully, I probably will move to Kazan to live. I mean, it's a joke.
Fantastic. All right, Brian. Thanks so much for your time.
No problem.
Thank you.
What a positive guy.
Yeah, and look, all the action continues tomorrow too. I hope he gets a good night's sleep because there's a lot happening. We can show you now, if we look at the screen, what's coming up. Digital basketball, that continues, so that's still in the group stages. We've also got their digital hockey, that's in the semi-finals, and then one of your favourites here, Alexei, MMA. Digital fighting. Yeah. It includes, it sounds funny, it includes the fighters initially fighting each other on Mortal Kombat on the computer, and then they head straight to the octagon for to bash chunks out of each other. Then
I kind of wish it was the other way around, you know. First you do the, you know, inside the octagon, and then you play a game. That would probably would have been much funnier to look at. Yeah, it's a pretty hectic schedule tomorrow. A lot of stuff on the plate.
That's right.
Obviously, be on top of it.
And one thing we should mention too is the Dota quarterfinals. Those of you who are fans of that, the multiplayer battle arena game, the quarterfinal stage is tomorrow, and that is one of the most lucrative esport games in the world, and it's one of the fastest growing too. So a huge following. When they were playing actually earlier on Monday and Tuesday, they were saying that the live stream from these games was already seen by 7 million people. Just for watching that. It's incredible, isn't it? So that brings us to the end of the first official day, because these games have been happening for the last couple of days, but we had the opening ceremony today. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we hope you're going to join us tomorrow. We've got it all covered, you know, from the consoles to the plimsolls, from the joysticks to the hockey sticks. Watch us again tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Thank you.